You were saying?
Hello again. I'm still Paul. And as you may tell, we've left everything to the last minute again and not properly prepared.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and I got everything ready on time for my last stream. And then the internet decided to eat itself, and that proved that preparation is a fool's errand.
And this is Paul and Andrew watch all of Halloween. Tonight we're watching the 1982 film Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, not to be confused with the 2011 Season of the Witch with Nicolas Cage.
Or indeed, the George A. Romero Season of the Witch, which we'll get onto later. For those who haven't seen this before, this is a bring your own copy event, which means bring your own copy. If you just joined us, you got about 20 minutes of us wittering about stuff that we think's bloody amazing before the film starts. So you can source a copy. It's available everywhere. Movies are available. Get ready to play, hit play when we do the countdown. Then we can all engage in fine banter via the comment section. By the way, hello, the comment section. How is the one fan today?
The one fan is here to appreciate us. Thank you, the one fan.
Fantastic. We appreciate the appreciation.
Right, but before we get on to the film, Andrew, how have you been over the last fortnight?
How have I been? Well, mostly I've been gardening whenever it's not been raining. So mostly I've not been gardening. I still have my comedy shoulder injury from working too much at a desk job, which is just amazing. And other than that, yeah, life is good. Life is very good.
Talking of injuries, I've been able to walk my puppy over this last week. So this is the first time he's been allowed out and about. And I discovered that after a week of being pulled left and right for 3 hours a day, I've sprained my ankle. So if you see me doing a little dance during tonight's show, it's because I'm trying to get my foot into a comfortable position.
Oh, good luck. That's just not going to happen, is it? You're in Painesville now. Population, your arm. Yeah, so...
Yeah.
We're great examples of growing old gracefully, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Amazing amounts. What have I been watching?
What have you been watching this last fortnight?
Well, mostly stuff that's going to appear on the rescheduled Live from the Super Fortress Hardcore Genki, which, as you can see, it's summer, so we're out in the garden, so that's nice. But yeah, we're currently absolutely grinding our way through Lucifer Season 5, Part 2. And apart from anything else, I think it's a pure indictment of how amazing this series is, that there's a musical episode. And Pink Apple Jam didn't hate it.
Oh.
And I didn't walk out of the room.
High praise indeed.
So it's actually really good, and we explain why on Saturday, assuming our internet doesn't eat itself.
So basically, you're telling me I've got until Saturday to watch the entirety of Part 2.
Well, I'm saying that between now and then, you'll probably want to have watched it. We're not going to give the game away. We're going to explain why it's a good musical episode, but we're not going to give away the plot to the episode, because that would be mean.
Yeah.
What have you been doing?
So I've been looking for some easy watching because I've had to put my foot up, literally. So I tried Spider-Man Far From Home.
What did you think?
I've got two others. Men in Black International and Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
Ooh.
So I do have some regrets from my choices.
Why?
I found Spider-Man Far From Home to be really kind of dull. And the Men in Black International just wasn't my humour. I didn't enjoy the originals. To be honest. So I thought I'd give this a go and see if it was different, and it was pretty much spot on to the original sense of humour.
It was. I really enjoyed the Men in Black, and I watched this, and I thought it was a perfectly adequate Men in Black.
Yeah, so I'd agree. I just didn't happen to enjoy the original ones. So.
Yeah, so it's one of those where if you don't like it, you're not going to like it. But I'm surprised you didn't like Spider-Man, but
I just found it a little bit dull, to be honest.
Okay.
It might have been because I was sitting there in a lot of pain.
Right.
But yeah, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot actually was probably the one I found most entertaining of the three, because I was looking at all of these actors going, oh my God, how old are you now? because they have aged significantly in these films.
I haven't watched any of that. My enthusiasm for that wanes something chronic.
Yes, it's very much self-referential, and decides to poke fun at itself an awful lot.
Okay.
But yeah, so that there are some people in there, and I'm sort of thinking, oh, who's that? And it's like, oh, that's Val Kilmer. I didn't recognize him because he looks very old. I almost didn't recognize Ben Affleck because he looks very old.
Well, he is quite old.
I know, but I just sort of remember these people from the films I watched 20 years ago and assume that they're still the same age because that's what you do in cinema. But things have moved on since I last watched films 20 years ago. I don't know why.
So you're not excited about those movies?
No, I did watch something else over the last fortnight, though, but I'm going to come back to that one later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chekhov's movie comment.
Yeah, something along those lines. We are indeed old with our various
I'm
injuries.
not old, I'm vintage. I'm collectible.
But we're still not mint in package. So, moving on to Halloween-related stuff. How do you feel about the films that we've watched so far, Andrew?
I think Halloween is still an amazing movie.
Mm-hmm. And your appreciation of it hasn't deteriorated.
My appreciation of it has gone up because of how bad Halloween 2 was. Because it definitely showed how you could do. I feel less bad about that now. I feel more. I appreciate the comedy elements of it, which I don't think were intentional. But Loomis, I've been doing some reading around on fan pages, and there is actually a Loomis is responsible for Michael being mad theory that I now support, because that explains him running around like he did in Halloween 2 and muttering to himself and desperately trying to find Michael before he tells everyone about all the horrible things Loomis did to him. So yeah, I'm definitely down with that fan theory. No, this one I'm actually, the previous two, I think there's still some mileage in it. So yeah, I'm a bit less hating towards Halloween 2.
Okay.
But not much.
You've eased over the last fortnight then.
I've eased over. Do you know what I am looking forward to?
What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to some exciting statistics. Number me, baby. Number me hard.
In that case, prepare to be disappointed.
What?
No. So, welcome back to Paul's exciting world of Halloween statistics. Any resemblance to statistics, living or dead, is purely coincidental. So for this episode, I might have been influenced by something I've been watching recently. So I'd like to present you with the Horrorvision Film Contest.
Ooh.
So this week, we're going to be looking at US box office sales for all films the website I used categorized as horror. So we're going to see how well the Halloween films performed against their peers in the horror category. Will any of the films claim the vaulted 12 points, or will they not even make it to the top 10 and keep the UK company with 0 points?
Do we get to guess anything?
You can guess, yes.
Okay.
Starting with 1978, where do you think it came?
Halloween?
Yeah. And top 10 or not in the top 10?
Of horror?
Actually, what they've got the top 5 positions. So you can
reckon it's easily got to be in the top 5.
It's got to be in the top 5. Do you want to be any more specific than that?
I'm trying to remember what came out that year. Was it the same year as Exorcist?
No.
I'm going to put it in. I'm going to say I think it's got to be in the top 3.
Top 3. Okay, then. Right.
For horror.
Taking 8 points in third place.
God.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1978.
Oh, how can I forget? That is so good.
And Halloween did indeed come in the top 3. Came in second place and got 10 points that year. Can you guess what the top spot was for 1978? It was a sequel. No, shall I tell you?
Chainsaw Massacre 2?
Nope, it was Jaws 2.
They put that in as okay.
Yeah,
fine.
they put that in as horror.
Okay, I'm not
That's
arguing.
That's what I said. The site I use classifies these as horror movies.
I'm going with it. Yeah, okay.
And fourth was Damien, Omen 2. And fifth was a film I've never heard of called Magic.
Which was quite bad.
And that year, the United Kingdom song came in 11th place.
I am going to be honest and say, if Halloween had lost to Jaws 2, Body Snatchers, or Omen 2, I wouldn't have had an argument. Those are solid. Magic, never bloody heard of.
No, I'd not heard of that one. Next, we move on to 1981. So what's your guess for 1981 then?
I'd be impressed if it made the top 5.
Oh, okay then. So in third place, we have Graduation Day.
Oh, God, yes. That's impressive.
Okay, I've not seen that one. Halloween 2 again took second place.
Nice.
But the film of the year for 1981, any guesses?
1981. Would it have been Friday the 13th?
No, it was American Werewolf in London took the top spot that year.
Oh, which
Friday the 13th did come in fourth place.
Oh,
so well done for that one.
I'm just going to say, Final Conflict I haven't seen, but American Werewolf in London, Graduation Day was pants. Only Friday the 13th I still reckon holds up as a decent movie. American Werewolf in London, lovely effects, but it bores the pants off me as a film. And Graduation Day is just awful.
Yeah.
But okay.
But that was also the year when the United Kingdom came in top place in the Eurovision Song Contest. Right. So next we go on to 1982, which is the film we're going to be watching tonight.
Okay. Let's think.
Any guesses?
I know 10, it did well.
Top 5.
I'm gonna put it in the top 5.
I'm gonna
be bold and put it in the top 3 because it was released at Halloween, so it was quite an event movie.
Okay, right. So top 3 we're looking for.
Yeah.
Well, in third place we had Creep Show.
Solid, definitely worth watching.
In second place is a familiar film, Friday the 13th Part 3.
Solid.
And the top film for 1982 was Poltergeist.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, so Halloween 3 ended up taking fourth place, just in front of The Thing, which must have annoyed John Carpenter.
I doubt it. He probably got more points off the Thing. I have to say, of all those years, that is the strongest lineup.
That's a good lineup.
Part 3 ranked really high. Creep Show is an amazing anthology. Poltergeist is Poltergeist. And yeah, that's a spectacular lineup.
I haven't seen Creep Show yet, but that's probably one on the list to watch.
Yeah.
We've got 1988 was the next film. So any guesses for 88?
88. Not very good. I don't think it made the top 10.
Okay, then. So third place, we have a film called The Serpent and the Rainbow. Another one that I've never heard of.
It's quite good, but it's aged badly.
One I have heard of in second place, but not seen, is Child's Play, which I believe was the first Chucky movie.
Yeah, it was.
And A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 takes the top spot for that one.
That's impressive, considering A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 is a recycle of Nightmare on Elm Street 3. So, environmental.
So 4 and 5, we've got Friday the 13th, the Carrie-inspired Part 7 came in fourth.
Yeah.
And Halloween 4 slips down to fifth place.
Ooh,
the UK
I think that's a taste of things to come.
Yeah. There is definitely a downhill slide so far, isn't there?
Yeah.
Right, on to 1989 next.
Are you doing all the years?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. Right, I'll talk less.
I've done loads of slides. Right. So any guess for this one?
That was when things really hit the skids, so I don't think it made the top 10.
Okay, so let's have a look. We've got third place, The Fly 2. And second place, Nightmare on Elm Street 5. And Pet Sematary coming first that year. 2 films I've never heard of called Shocker and Leviathan take fourth and fifth.
I haven't seen Leviathan. Shocker is really good because I think that was a Wes Craven. So he's basically got two in there. Yeah, Cronenberg was really good, and Pet Sematary is miserable beyond belief. It's brilliant. I'm going to put it now. I think that and the remake equally good, just very different. Yeah, definitely both.
I've not actually seen either of those ones yet, so
you have a life.
Yeah. But so where did the Halloween movie came? It came in 7th place.
Impressive.
And the United Kingdom came in 2nd place that year as well. So we were doing quite well in 1989.
Did I always get it? I can't even remember that tune, even for the life of me.
No.
Right.
Right, on to the next one, 1995. Any guesses?
That's going to be buried because that's about the time the new wave came along with Scream, wasn't it?
Okay, so we've got The Prophecy in
which
3rd
is brilliant.
Place. I do enjoy that film. Vampire in Brooklyn in 2nd place. And a Tales from the Crypt film in 1st place that year.
Ooh.
Not seen that one.
It's good.
Halloween comes in 4th place.
I am amazed, especially considering Farewell to the Flesh was a lot better. Well, I haven't seen Curse of Michal Myres yet, but Farewell to the Flesh was solid. So
there's the UK in 11th place that year.
I find it's interesting because Vampire in Brooklyn and Demon Knight are both quasi-comedy. So yeah, but
by the mid-90s we'd sort of moved into the comedy horror era from the looks of things.
Yeah.
Right, on to 1998 now. Any guesses for this one?
Down again.
So this was the year of H2O.
Oh, Bela Lugosi is here.
Hello.
Ooh. So H2O, that had a lot behind it. I reckon it's going to break the top 3.
Okay, right. Well, it's not in 3rd place because that was Urban Legend. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Another sequel came in 2nd. Yep. And there it is. Halloween H2O takes the top spot. The 12 points. First time. And what else have we got in 1998? We've got Bride of Chucky and The Faculty. And the UK didn't do too badly in the Eurovision either. We're 2nd place again.
Yeah, Faculty, totally worth checking out.
Oh, okay, I've not seen
Bride of Chucky, Urban Legend, but The Faculty, absolute sleeper.
Brilliant.
Should have done better.
So can we repeat that success in 2002?
No, because that's the one with Busta Rhymes in it.
So we've got The Mothman Prophecies in 3rd place.
How?
Resident Evil in 2nd place. Any guesses on the top film for 2002?
No.
We've got Bela Lugosi's Shed. I'm expecting good guesses from
Okay, we're going to get a guess from Bela Lugosi's Shed. Yep. Come on. Number 1.
What was number 1 in 2002? Yeah, we're looking.
Yes, we basically are. We want to know what the top horror film box office in the States was. Texas Chainsaw. Ooh.
No, I'm afraid that's not correct. It was The Ring in 2002.
Oh, my Lord.
And what else did we have in 4th? We had Queen of the Damned. And in 5th place, we've got Halloween Resurrection. Which interestingly will make this the only year on these slides where I will have seen all 5 by the time we finish watching all of this. I don't know what that
You'll have seen all 5 movies? What?
Yeah, I will have seen all 5.
You had to sit through the Mothman Prophecies.
Yes, I've had to sit through that. I did not.
Oh, Jesus, you poor man.
Yeah, my wife bought that one. I wasn't not a fan. Anyway, moving on from that one to 2007.
This is the Rob Zombie era.
Yep. What do you reckon? Good, bad?
I think it's going to break in the top 10. I'm going to reckon it's going to be in the top, easily the top 5.
Top 5.
There was a lot. There was a lot behind it.
Saw 4 takes 3rd place. A film called 1408, another one I've not heard of.
That was a Stephen King.
Oh,
that was a Stephen King one-room spooky. That was okay.
Yeah, that took the 2nd spot, and a film called I Am Legend came in 1st.
Oh, that's cheaty. That was okay. I'm not going to have a steward's argument, but
yeah, I know. It's the site that I use class them as horror.
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah, but you were correct. Halloween, the reboot, does take 4th place with the Resident Evil film in 5th place.
I'm surprised it beat Res Evil. Scooch flying the flag. Oh God, I remember that. Oh Jesus!
in a glorious 23rd place with only 3 films.
Oh, 3rd best I Am Legend.
Okay, fair enough. Right, on to 2009 now, almost there. So, any guesses for this one? This is going to be Halloween 2.
I reckon top. I'll be surprised if it's not in the top 5. Again, incredibly.
Familiar film for us. Yeah.
Hang on. I just want to say, Resident Evil Extinction. I saw it in the cinema. I turned up. Stuff happened. I went, ooh, look at the pretty lights. I left. Couldn't tell you shit about the plot. Don't care. Had a lovely time.
I think that's the one where everything's in a desert. I think
it was
possibly.
It was a film, right? I enjoyed it. Flashing lights. Onward.
So
I'm gonna put it. I think it's going to be in the top 3 again. I think he's got the juice for it.
Right. Something familiar for us is the Friday the 13th reboot takes the 3rd place.
Ooh.
The Final Destination, which is that a reboot of Final Destination?
No, that was the allegedly last one in the Final Destination series, of which Bela Lugosi's Shed did a full deep dive into, giving you the rankings of best to worst. So we don't have to do that series because it wigs me out.
There we go. Apparently, it was the 5th film. There we go.
Okay.
So yes, that one takes 2nd place. And then the top spot for that year was Paranormal Activity.
Oof.
So Halloween didn't make the top 3. Is it in the top 5? It's not.
Wow.
Haunting in Connecticut and My Bloody Valentine. Do you reckon it got into the top 10?
I hope it did.
It did just. It hit 8th place.
And that's why sorry, but if you can't beat My Bloody Valentine.
Yes. Not a particularly good year for that film.
No, but definitely moving into the recycle period of horror, of mainstream horror.
Yep, certainly. Now on to 2018.
Oh, God.
The last one so far.
Until next time. I think it's going to be number 1.
Okay. We got The Nun in 3rd place.
Oh, God. What's happened to the public audience? Halloween? 2nd
reboot of Halloween in 2nd place.
Halloween the 3rd.
And A Quiet Place took the top spot that year.
Okay, fair. Very fair.
And we had a Purge and an Insidious sequel going on. And the UK managed to get 24 out of 26.
Can't even remember. That's not bad. So have we got any correlation between Halloween rankings and the UK scores?
First, I was going to say, we've done pretty well on
this
film.
Yeah.
So, a good number of seconds. We even got a first going on there.
Yeah.
So, not too badly. None of them dropped out of the top 10. Unlike the United Kingdom this year, which got...
It was rank.
But, yeah. You're about to ask. There's the correlation between Halloween films and the UK's position in Eurovision. And, you can see there's quite a few spikes in actual performance on years when the Halloween films were released. So of course, you've got to delve into that a little bit more. And there we go. Your average Eurovision with a Halloween film is your blue line, and your average Eurovision without a Halloween is your orange line. And we can quite clearly see that it's much better for the UK's Eurovision performance to have a Halloween film released in the same year.
It is official with stats. We have proven. We have proven beyond the shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, except for, let's look at this again. Let's just there's one anomaly on this, I believe. Oh yeah, it would be this year, wouldn't it? Where we got a Halloween movie coming out and nil plus in Eurovision.
So it's got to be more. But
does that mean the Halloween movie is going to be delayed? Could be.
Ooh, I hope not.
Yes, I'm hoping not either.
Well, that was phenomenal and educational, and and a worrying number of those films I have seen as well. This is why I gave up trying to fill out my IMDb, name all the movies you've watched.
Well, there you go. There was certainly some exciting stats along the way. But do we have any amazing facts?
Do we have any amazing facts? And more importantly, are you going to stay around for the amazing facts?
I have no puppy to distract me this week. Unfortunately, he's not particularly well, so he's downstairs.
Oh no!
Yeah, he's just been a little bit sick today. Poor boy.
Oh, that is quite terrible. So anyway, there we go. So what can we say about Halloween other than I can't hit the buttons right? So yes, Erwin Yables and Mustafa Akidi had seen great returns from the movies on the previous two, and they really wanted to carry on making the movies. Carpenter and Hill did not. They were bored. Possibly something to do with the fact that in his other job, Carpenter was fundamentally reinventing each genre every time he touched it and becoming recognized as as probably the apex predator of 80s horror movies.
You mean the choice of reinventing genres or repeating the same thing again and again?
Oh, just taking obscure classics, turning them into what are still considered some of the finest movies of all time. Adding massive quantities to cyberpunk by accident, that kind of just shitting out amazingly quality product. So yeah, but they agreed to produce it because money and less time and money. And nice steady rolling income. And again, he got to do the soundtrack, which further his career as being a soundtrack writer, because that's what everyone remembers John Carpenter for. But anyway, are you going to bloody move or what? So this could have been one of the single greatest movies ever. Joe Dante was the original director, and he got Nigel Neal, author of the Quatermass series, which is, as you know, a groundbreaking horror series that helped define the modern genre, to write the script for it.
Promising.
Yeah, Nigel agreed, as long as he was allowed to do something different from the Michael Myers story. So they got an absolute, everyone agreed, all the producers were happy. They got an amazing new work from one of the forgers of modern fantasy and arguably modern horror and of modern sci-fi. Made an amazing, absolutely brilliant script. Everyone thought it was amazing.
Brilliant.
Then Joe Dante left the product and got replaced by Tommy Lee Wallace as director. And at some point, financier Dino De Laurentiis got a really shitty translation of the movie.
Right.
And went, no. So John Carpenter possibly rewrote it. Tommy Lee Wallace definitely rewrote it because he's down as the credits. Put in a lot more gore, a lot more violence, a lot less subtlety. And eventually Nigel Neal sued to be removed from the credits.
Okay.
Because he was just so not having any of that shite. Which it's always a good sign when the original writer does that.
Desperate to get away from it.
Yeah, but Tommy Lee did bless his soul. It was his first movie. He was absolutely determined to make, quote, a pod rather than a knife movie. So he was totally down for doing something different, even though he'd worked on the two previouses as the art director. He approached it in the principle that the series was now going to be an anthology based around whatever aspects of Halloween, and with a new one coming out every year at Halloween. So he worked on it from that level. It wasn't looking to try and make like a series or anything, but just a solid anthology piece. But he also did it with respect to the old one, to try and lay down some rules for the anthology. But what he did was he included links to the prior two movies, thematically, visually, had them throughout so that you'd be able to see clear connections between the anthologies, even though he knew they were, just laying down that. He also totally nicked the subtitle from George Romero's second film, and apparently was a very good writer because he left massive plot holes everywhere, which we will get to see. Anyway, so whilst he wasn't a great writer, he was apparently a pretty good director to work with. The shot, according to Stacey Nail, who was one of the major stars in it, the shot as a whole was fun, smooth, and great group of people to work with. Tommy Lee Wallace was incredibly helpful and open to discussion on dialogue or character issues. So the guy was really really cool. The cast itself was mostly made up of TV character actors, but it did include Tom Atkins. If anybody's been posting up questions, sorry, I'm just reading off my script at this point. It includes Tom Atkins, who'd been in Carpenter's The Fog and Escape from New York. There was also Academy Award winner Dan O'Healy, who'd previously won an Oscar for The Adventures of Robinson Crusoe. Apparently, he really enjoyed the film, thought his part was great. He really enjoyed making it, thought his part was brilliant, and he did great guns, but he thought overall it was a bit bad.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So Helen Lugosi Shed is described it as heavily flawed masterpiece.
Well, we're going to find out. We are going to find out. Where was I? The Nancy Sander made her third Halloween appearance. She'd previously appeared as Annie Brackett in 1 and 2.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Jamie Lee Curtis did a voiceover as an announcer. Mm-hmm. She's uncredited, so it kind of doesn't count, but she was in there, so that's all good. And Dick Warlock is in it, because if you can have Dick Warlock in one of your movies, you bloody well put Dick Warlock in your movie. And yeah, the film was panned and did quite badly, but the novelization was published in '82 under a pseudonym, and despite the critical failure of the film, the book became a bestseller and was reissued 2 years after. So yeah, that did really, really well on that front. But enough foreshadowing. Now for the meat of it. How well did you think the critics viewed it, given one of our horror aficionados has already said it's arse?
Well, I know the critics aren't particularly a fan of horror movies, so I'm hoping for some really juicy dissing of this film.
Well, New York Times described it as probably as good as any cheerful ghoul could ask for, which is possibly positive.
Yeah, that sounds pretty positive to me.
What other? Robert Ebert. This is one of the identikit movies assembled out of familiar parts from other better movies. Right. Yeah. Vince Canby, New York Times. Halloween 3 manages the not easy feat of being anti-children, anti-capitalism, anti-television, and anti-Irish all at the same time.
Right.
I presume he meant that in a bad way. Variety, uncredited writer said there's not much to say about Halloween 3 that hasn't already been said about either of the other two Halloween picks or a similar slew of imitators. And this one is the absolute favorite one. J.C. Mecco III in Pop Matters. This could have been somewhat interesting, or at least not condemnable, had the film been any good.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think they're fans.
That sets our standards for us, I guess.
Oh, is that now disputed by Jamie Lee? Okay. So maybe Jamie Lee isn't in it, but the person who played one of her chums is definitely in it, because, like, we know she's definitely in it. So, yes. Does everyone have their copy of Halloween 3 at standby? We hope so.
Get yourselves ready. I shall just read the spiel about the film. Right. Kids all over America want silver shamrock masks for Halloween. Dr. Daniel Chalice seeks to uncover a plot by Silver Shamrock owner Conal Cochran. I have no idea what this is relating to. I'm not even sure if this relates to the film, but I'm sure we'll find out afterwards.
Do you have your first kill drink ready?
I have my first kill drink ready.
I have my film ready. I have a really nice banana cocktail. I hope everyone else is ready.
Yes, I think we're good to go. So I'm going to count down from 3 and then shout go, and we can all hit play at the same time. So 3, 2, 1, and go.
Okay. Well, that ended.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know whether he was successful in stopping it or not, but it was definitely.
I am
credit to the end.
suspecting it was not successful. It definitely gave the appearance of not successful in any possible manner.
Wow.
So
that was Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Yes, now you have to ask me sensible questions about that.
So going by my script, which I haven't updated from last week, what did you think of Michael in this film?
Or the absence of Michael. I am going to have to say I thought it was a bold move. And I think it could have paid off.
It could have.
I really do. If you
yeah,
as I said,
quite a film.
It was. It was not. There's certain elements of it which don't make any sense, but I'm willing to work with that. That's me paying enough attention and being engaged enough in it to be annoyed that some bits didn't quite square up. I will be honest and say that I was quite impressed with that. It was definitely a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I could see why people didn't like it, and I could see how the absence of Michael was disjointing. But I do think that had definite potential, and I definitely liked the way that Michael was that the previous film was incorporated into it.
Yeah,
both with the really nice in-universe stuff, and some of the homages, some of the way it was done, some of the way it's filmed. The fact,
scenes on the TVs and.
Yeah, even just the really corny having the mask over it. Here we go. Hang on. There's a comment. Yeah, it felt like an independent film. I thought the idea. I cannot express how much I thought the idea was amazing.
Yeah, there was a lot of promise there, wasn't there?
The reasoning behind it was bobbins. The motivation behind it was bobbins, but just as a bastard plan, it's absolutely bastard. And that was so cruel. That was a properly brutally cruel plan. It's just nasty on so many different levels. It's yeah.
There was no profit motive or anything like that at all, was there? It was just killing kids for the sake of killing kids.
I mean, I've met some kids, so yeah, I can understand why. I kind of almost like the fact that it was just rich old man decides to massacre millions because reasons. That abstract thing. I mean, like, he's obviously lost touch with reality. So maybe he doesn't need a great reason.
There were so many abstract bits in there. There's like references to that. Oh, you wouldn't believe how we stole this stone. So we're not going to tell you. Bye.
Yeah, bye. That was cheeky. That's the thing. I honestly think there's something in there that was spectacular. And it's a shame it didn't. It's a shame it didn't come off. It just had so many bits that were underused. That relationship with the girl was creepy as all hell.
Yeah, that was.
Mostly because it came out of nowhere. If there'd been any grounding,
we were joking about them saying that they were married, and then all of a sudden they're getting it on, and it's like, really?
Yeah, and that was very. That was very badly written rather than anything else. It just seemed someone went, "We need tits. Let's throw it in. How do we get a sex scene in here? All right, here we go." So that was a questionable decision. but yeah, I can see why it failed without why people were expecting a third Halloween movie, and I can see how it could have worked. So I'm going to give the producers credit. I think sticking with the plan of trying to make it a once a year event series, I think that's a spectacular idea, and I think this had the promise.
Yeah.
But obviously it didn't work because they didn't make another one until 88, so 89. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe not delivering as part of the Halloween franchise, but delivering as part of a set of Halloween stories.
I totally get now why the Halloween franchise hate it, because it is not, especially if you come into it at this stage in its life cycle, because that is not in any way a Michal Myres Halloween movie. That is something completely different. But again, I kind of liked it, but it's not up to John as its own thing. It's still not up to John Carpenter's standards.
No.
It is steadily. It's steadily diminishing quality, unfortunately.
But talking of quality, what was your favourite kill of the night?
Favorite kill? Oof. I'm going to go with the lady in the I'm going to go with the lady in the motel.
Yeah, just the shock of that. She's messing about with the button, and then how detailed that the aftermath of her death was when it was unexpected.
That face, the aftermath of her face was grotesque. And you don't see it was grotesque, and it was on screen for a long time, and it held up. And the gag where they had the creature running across her face and up into her hairline, I was looking at the creature. It was properly. Oh my gosh! There was. I mean, there are some really good gags, like pulling the head off the body. That was a good gag kill. I thought the drill kill was lame, because if you're going to set something up like that and then not show anything, it's like, again, it's the, what do you think of our magic trick? Well, there wasn't a magic trick.
Yeah.
But that bit was. Then again, the kid in the kid in the test room, that was also shocking, because
that one just kept going. More and more stuff came out of his head.
But I think it showed the bastardry of it, because the mum basically had a heart attack, and then the dad just
got bitten by snakes
that had come out of his son's head. I mean, even if you were to survive that, you are going to have some severe psychological damage to yourself.
You're not going to be the same person afterwards.
Yeah, I think that really it was a very close knit between the two. And again, though, like, they had some lovely gags, like the guy getting run over by the car. That was really nice, and that was also nice foreshadowing, because he just kind of went.
Yeah.
The guy in the bed, I thought, like, the bit when his feet were clenching and all that, when the guy had his fingers in and just wiggling around in the ball, that was just over the top.
Yeah.
The only disappointing one was the drill. Plus,
I think the foot wiggling would have worked much better with the drill.
Anything. I just. All she did for the entire movie was sit on a desk, poke stuff in a tray, do all that labor for Captain A inappropriate age difference, and then she gets shanked in an incredibly nasty way when there's nothing she could actually do. It's like, oh, I've just worked out that this guy got killed by what I could best describe as a robot. Great. Well, robots don't exist, so obviously something else had to have caused. Her death was really unnecessary and shit.
Yeah.
You know, if it had either been necessary or a really good death, I'd have been fine with it. But
yeah, it was neither. Failed to deliver.
It failed to deliver, and it seemed out of place. So I think that is probably one of the bits that got added on. Yeah.
Right. So my next question for you: where do you think this particular one should sit in the Hall of Halloween?
I am going to put it at chest height.
Okay.
At chest height? Yeah, but I want you to put it over to the right.
Okay.
Like further. A bit further. Okay, stop. Right. Maybe, yeah, no, yeah. That's it, because I don't think I can't view that as part of the continuity.
Yeah, yes. Sitting to the side as its own independent thing.
And also because it was such a different feel to it.
Yeah.
It was trying to do something very different, and I think it achieved something very different. It did have flaws, like as I said, you know, the time zone difference means if he's done all this media buyout everywhere at 9 o'clock, there's like 4 or 5 different 9 o'clocks. So his plan will just cascade across. You know, it won't cascade because people go, "Oh my god!" Everyone.
Happens, yeah. All it takes is one news reporter, and that's it.
All it takes is one batch of 1 million kids dying in grotesque, hideous, mystical agony for people to go, "Let's not show telly." I think okay. I'm going to knock it down a little bit. If you could just take it down. Just yeah. No, up. Stop. Yeah, I'm gonna put it there. I might move it later. I do not think that was a bad film, but I do not. I think you could still slide a couple of better movies in there.
Yeah. I don't disagree, especially with it sitting in its own little independent bit. It was a very, very different film.
I mean, how did you feel about it? I know I get to place it, but how did you feel with it?
No, I agree with you. It was a good classic early 80s horror movie. There's quite a few similar veined ones, but it didn't feel like a Halloween one.
No.
Because just the story was so different. But it was its own enjoyable little thing. I've seen a number of cheesy horror movies, and that fits perfectly in with those. Yeah,
I think it would have done better if it didn't have that. If it didn't have the Halloween tag on it, holding it down. There's a lot of expectation management that they ballsed up,
and it was significantly better than I was expecting it to be. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised at how enjoyable the film it was.
On the Halloween groups, it's regularly just at the bottom of the pile. People hate it.
Slated off often. Yeah,
it's proper. You know, when people will go out of the way and say, you know, I'm doing a Halloween run. I'm not including 3. That's not a Halloween movie.
Yeah,
I get why people acted like that, but I do not. I do not think it's as bad as that. But I mean, it did have a lot of plot holes. There were a lot of bits that just don't add up.
Yeah.
And the magical power thing was very, very inconsistent, and that always winds me up.
Yeah, it was unexplained, and didn't seem to. Yeah, they didn't put any effort into trying to explain how it was working or why it was working, or. I don't
have as big a problem with it being unexplained because magic, fine, but it's the lack of consistency. That's where it becomes harder to believe. If the stone does one trick, just have it do that one trick, and that one trick will be enough to keep me engaged, enough for me to know what's happening. As soon as you can just use it to pull anything out of anywhere, then it becomes something other, and it becomes something less. I think.
Yeah, just a big plot hammer.
Yeah, it's just a tool for railroading people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there we go. That's my thoughts on that. It's substantially less thoughts than I'd have on it, because it's like I did definitely get a lot of the Quatermass feel. I know he sued to get his name taken off it, but there was that corporate horror, not corporate horror. There was that like otherworldly, unknowable horror element. But I do think that review, what was it? Anti-kid, anti-Irish, anti-corporation, anti-everything. Bye!
Thank you very much for joining us again.
I think that does hold true. It wasn't really for anything. It was just incredibly negative a film, especially at the ending. Yes, we will see you on Thursday for Trash or Treasure every Thursday at the Bunkazilla Discord. Bunkazilla.co.uk/the-bunker.
I think we can both say no. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you to the one fan. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah. So, having seen number 3 now, how are you feeling about the rest of the series? Still looking forward to seeing them? Has that put a spoke in the works, Tom?
Because I know that they get back on the they get back on the Michael train, on the Michael Myers train from here on in. Yeah, I'm looking forward to 4 because it's spent a lot of time out the loop. You know, it's not like it's not got that velocity of Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it could be something solid. I think it's going to have to go some to convince me that it's even slightly a worthy successor to part 1. But yeah, I'm willing to be impressed by it.
Excellent. So, next time on Tuesday, the 15th of June, we do indeed have the 1988 film Halloween for the Return of Michael Myers, which might see our star returning, strangely enough.
Yes, that's why they called it that.
Yeah. And the spiel for that one is 10 years after his original massacre. The invalid Michael Myers awakens on Halloween Eve and returns to Haddonfield to kill his 7-year-old niece. Can Dr. Loomis stop him?
Maybe.
Yeah. Let's hope the film's easier to watch than it is for me to say that intro, as I try to say the invalid Michael Myers. I think I'm terribly confused.
This is the wrong Michael Myers. You didn't get it stamped. You didn't get it numbered. It's just you can't use that Michael. No stabbing in this place, mate. You got the wrong one. Yeah.
You haven't even got a mask on. What's this?
Mask not on. You're not coming in. Yeah, no, that sounds good. It sounds like a return to the grind. That is what I'm missing from the Halloween, from the Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th had a tidy little bang go. This has not. This still.
Yeah, it hasn't established that yet, has it?
I'm worried that Halloween is a stone around its neck. Like the first Friday the 13th was brilliant, but it was cheesy, go for it, brilliant. Whereas Halloween was just like, hey, let's invent a genre. And it just seems to kind of like try to justify itself and going, let's do exciting things. So I just want it to go, nah, got a mask, got a knife, let's butcher some kids.
Let's just do it properly.
Yeah, get in, stuck in, yeah.